Hey everybody, it's Rob from Flailthroughs. This is Gundam Battle Operation 2, and this is a guest video from Spidey Wing in the newly buffed Gine Standard armor on PSN. The main buff they gave it was that the Gatling Smasher now has a limited release that lets it just sit there and firing until the timer runs out. I'm not sure, but it seems like it has slightly better stun resistance now than it used to. Might only be when the Gatling Smasher is in the limited release mode, but yeah, like I said recently, like one of my biggest issues with the G-Line Standard was getting stunned out of the Gatling Smasher. But as you can see, Spidey just took a shot directly to the shoulder that did not stun him out of that fire. That is good. Looks like there's G-Line Standard on the other side as well. And out. Yeah, the only, if they can stun you out of the Gatling Smasher, that of course cuts down on your time to, get your infinite fire. It's theoretically infinite, but of course it lasts as long as the gauge does. So, there is a limit to it. And of course, all the limiter release skills can only be used at full ammo or heat. Well, I don't think there's any. There are thankfully not any weapons that use both ammo and heat gauges at this point. Yeah, I think somebody on Spidey's team just fired at the suit that was about to walk over him, so he did get interrupted mid-support fire order, but didn't get, squished. So, a lack of squish is frequently good, if you're not talking about baked goods. I do like a nice soft bread. But, let's see. Yeah, G-Line, just a really nice looking suit. I think, there are model kits of them. They are P-Bandai, so not cheap. But yeah, good damage in there. The other thing about limited release, of course, is if somebody just downswings you when you go into it, you're gonna lose that, most if not all of that, before you can get back up and start swinging again. G4 is kind of formidable at this point. It can be a real nuisance, and is, I think, so being at the moment. Oh yeah, and the Gilgud Cannon, that's another one that just got buffed, and I'm hoping to get around with it. I don't think I have one that I like quite yet, but I really like what they've done with it. The beam rifle variant they gave it is just a heat-based stun on impact beam rifle. So not the same model as the standard Gelgug, but to be honest, as strong as the standard Gelgug rifle is, I can see the cannon being absolutely insufferable with that. I'd still love to see it one day, but yeah, just I get the logic, even if my Gelgug bias makes me believe I would like the illogical version. But that said, the other thing they did with it is that it still has the same walk speed, which, a little slow by Gelgug standards, but also they gave it another, want to say 25 points of boost speed. It went from 165 to 190. So yeah, it's, I feel like that's a good way to bring it literally up to speed without, without too much, what's the word? It's a very, I feel like, a logical way of doing that to the Gelgug Cannon, because it is, it has more equipment on it than a standard Gelgug, so slower walk speed makes sense. But also, the cannon backpack is based on the high mobility backpack, so yeah, higher boost speed just, it tracks, and it definitely makes it feel a lot less lumbering. It's nice. Good amount of damage there and stopped whatever was in front of him. But yeah, like I said, there are some beam shots here that just keep glancing off. I don't know if they're uncharged shots or what, but I in fighting G-Line standards, I feel like I've wound up with them getting harder to stun while in Gatling Smasher, pose. So that is something that I really feel like was necessary. Enemy team here is just really pretty well focused. Also, I think, to be honest, Spidey lost that Gatling duel because the enemy was in limiter release and he was just using the default. So, still won the war though. So, that is kind of the important part. But yeah, it's It looks good. Spidey said it feels great, so I haven't gotten a chance to use it yet myself, but it is on the list. Also trying to get something with the new Gundam because I've had a request for that, and post buff time is a good time to give that a shot. So, trying not to ramble about everything but the round, but it's just brain tonight is really going places. But while the brain is going places, I did finish the high grade G-Quux Rick Dom last night. I like it. It feels good. All the joints are really good and stiff to hold up those, big chunky legs. And, they took the name Giant Bazooka seriously for that. So, yeah, good strong arm joints also welcome. But the one thing that concerns me about it is the housing for the knees on all three legs. A little bit. Well, actually, no. Just the like actual left and right legs, and not the tripod, not the R2D2 leg. The housing around those very stiff joints feels a little bit thin. Like there's actually a little bit of wobble side to side when I try and move the knee, and that concerns me. Because of course the upper legs on the Rick Dom kind of small, so I feel like that's something that could break over time, or if you're careless, or even get a hard enough drop. So just watch out for those. That said, yeah, I like the kit. It's a neat design, and I'm glad I got it. I am pretty much up to date on all the Quaxpla molds, with I think one or two more due next year. Still want a Kikaroga, but it is not yet announced. I don't think it will be either because it's kind of big. See, it looks like the bomb at the enemy base is going to go off and give Spidey's team the lead, though enemy team is retaliating, so we'll see if that lasts. There's a minute left, so anything could happen. If the bomb divides the team, that might be the enemy team. That might be good. If some of them go to deal with the bomb and some of them or go to defend the bomber, and the rest, stay out here. Or even if Spidey's team can take good enough advantage of the fact that the bombs are that the bomber is probably still over at the base, while the rest of the enemy team is very not. That could be good. Yeah, that was just about the full range of Gatling smasher just dumped into that suit. Definitely assist. Almost got the KO, but let's see. And let's see. Words. Nope, no words. Enemy bomb did go off, but yeah, the last team member being absent did give Spidey's team enough time to take the lead, and Spidey survived to the end, and they're going to clear it. So let's see what the final stats look like. I know, earlier in the round, team was a little disorganized, and poor Spidey wound up focused kind of hard. Got top assists though at 810. Yeah, that felt like a top diversions round. I've been there. And let's see, 1 in 5, 64,000 damage. Not bad. That is going to do it for today's Gundam Battle Operation 2. Thank you for sending this my way, Spidey. I really appreciate it. And until next time, everybody take care and have fun. Later. Okay, so the full set of buffs for the Gine Standard armor got an extra 1,500 hit points, went from 14,000 to 15,500. Turn speed was increased by 6 points, went from 60 to 66. Got an extra point in each of the 3 slot locations, so it went from 10 close, 13 mid, long 5 to 11, 14, 6. Yeah, it got immobile fire system. That is the one that protects from stun when you're firing, when you're standing still to fire a weapon. That is absolutely a must for this, I feel like. Apparently, it got an upgrade to its lateral movement speed. So yeah, move a little faster when you're moving to your side. Not bad. At level 2, it got a composite high mobility combat system level 1. And level 3 and up gets level 2 of that. I don't remember what that does. I'm assuming that it lets you, it gives you a little bit more defense while you're boosting, something like that. I'm not sure. Or maybe it's one of the ones. No, that would be melee composite. I don't know what that does. So if anybody wants to remind me in the comments, I am particularly grateful because I have no idea off the top of my head. Yeah, Beam Saber got better combo compensation, so it loses less damage when you on the second hit. Most Beam Sabers have drop off on the later hits of their melee combos. So yeah, this is an improvement, less of that. Gatling Smasher went from 60 damage per shot at level 1 to 70. Reload time got dropped from 12 seconds to 10. And yeah, the limiter release basically lets you fire until the gauge counts down. So you should get more power out of it overall. At 400, the win rate for generals is 48.4%. Level 1 Gine Standard was at 44.3. Rival win rate down a bit as well. It was at 41.7. The average is 47.2. Damage wasn't too far down. 61,111 is the average damage across 400 generals. It was at 54,309, so not terrible. MS loss is also not terrible at 3.2 instead of the average of 3.1. But yeah, things really start to drop off at the higher levels. Win rate's about the same at level 2, but the general average is like 1.5 higher. Rival win rate is down to 34.4% by level 2, and damage has dropped to 51,202. And as you might expect, at each cost, the average damage goes up. At 550, things is where things get really bad. Win rate for a general across all 550, 49% even. It was at 43.2. Rival win rate across all generals, 48.6% average. It was at 33.3. Yeah, so 1 out of 3 Gine Standards was on a winning team at 550. Average damage for a general at 550, 72,175. It was at 55,000. So almost 20K down. That's pretty bad. And the MS losses were 3.4 versus the same 3.1, which actually is pretty standard for generals across all 4 costs, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, definitely upgraded. I'm looking forward to giving this a shot myself, and likewise to the other 3 G lines because I haven't tried any of them yet.